Now, health and jockeys. I mean, it's quite amazing that jockeys have this incredibly tough regime, and often, you know, they're feeding on scraps of food just to keep the weight down. Emma, hardly ideal.
Absolutely, and they lead such a vigorous life as well. I mean, there are days when they can have 10 rides, and yet they can have to lose 5 pounds in a sauna before they even go racing. And the Irish were big on sort of taking up this story and trying to move things forward from a health point of view, weren't they?
Yeah, the research is going on at Dublin City University right now to look at how they can improve and help out the Irish jockeys. Meanwhile, their colleagues over at Liverpool have also taken up the challenge, as John Franken finds out.
Ask any jockey, flat or jumping, what's the biggest downside to their job, and they'll tell you that it's trying to keep their weight under control. So I've come here to the John Moore University in Liverpool. It's their sports and science department, where Graeme Close and George Wilson are looking into the balance between diet and exercise.
We've got a large project on the go at the moment where we're looking at the current practices that jockeys use to make weight and seeing if there's anything we can do to help them to get to the riding weight a little bit easier without the reliance on the sweating techniques that are commonplace.
OK, well, we've got Frankie Dettori coming in this morning. What's in store for him?
We're going to get some blood samples off Frankie and some urine. The urine, we're going to look at his hydration status, and we're going to store some urine down for further analysis. And the blood, we're going to look at general health screen, looking at some of the micronutrients, looking at some of the antioxidants, and we're also going to look at his vitamin D levels as well.
Frank, have you ever had anything like this done before?
No.
I mean, it's ridiculous when you think how long you've been riding.
But you know, it's great, and plus, I mean, you know, I've been a jockey for.
Straight to me.
I've been a jockey for, you know, my 24th year this year, and I'm more, you know, obviously I've got my own routine. I know exactly what I have to do with my body, my fitness, but I'm interested to take it one step further to find out a bit more about myself. And you know, if you can give me 2 or 3 extra years in the saddle, why not? So all these things can only help.
So just talk us through what's happening here with Frankie then, George.
Right, we're going to measure some energy expenditure from Frankie, doing some simulated race riding. Frankie, as you can see, is wearing a monitor here on his chest. It's called the ActiHeart monitor. It measures physical activity and it also measures his heart rate. So basically, it's going to tell us how much energy he uses doing this exercise that we're going to set him up to do. What
we're doing at the moment then is Frankie simulating riding in a race.
Yeah, so
and this mask is telling you how he's converting the oxygen that he's breathing in, presumably.
In 5 seconds, can you start picking her up and start going? 3, 2, 1, OK, off you go. Flat out, everything you've got.
Come on, flat out, Frankie, come on. It's blue bunted.
Go on, Frankie.
I can hear...
Keep it going, mate.
Kieran's coming.
20 seconds, Frankie.
I can hear him whistling.
Okay, bit harder work now. Coming up, last furlong. 5 seconds, Frankie.
2 more to jump.
3, 2, 1, and relax, and rest, and time. Relax, yeah. Just sit down, mate, and just sit in the saddle.
I'm gagged up.
Yeah.
So you'll see this figure changing, and this figure changes, and that shows that he's now burning more carbohydrates. If it goes to 1-0, that's generally burning wholly carbohydrates as opposed to burning fat. So now he's burning carbohydrates in recovery, because that's known as anaerobic exercise. It's quite high intensity work. From this, we can also then find out how much energy he expended just doing that simulated race ride.
So Frankie's had the blood tests, he's been on the exercise machine. Now it's time for the most important part of the whole procedure. So Graeme, George is had him on the exercise machine. What's he on now?
OK, so he's on what's called a DEXA scanner machine. This machine will basically take a scan of Frankie's body, and it will give us an accurate assessment of his body fat. It will tell us the total amount of fat he's carrying in kilograms. It will also tell us percent body fat. So from this image we can see obviously the skeleton, the bone, and then on the outside obviously this is a muscle mass, and then there's a very small grey area on the very outside, and this is where the body fat is.
Is there any brain in that?
No, there was no sign of that. There was no sign. He's enlarged it, so there's still no sign.
So Frankie's 12.2% body fat, which is...
that's good.
It's very good. You know, we said it up front that we're looking it to be under 15.
That means
15 on's a bit
I
healthy.
can lose a bit.
Go and have a bacon sandwich. So who's the lightest person you've had in here, any athlete?
Confidentially, I probably couldn't go into that detail, but it's not unusual to see Premiership football players at 8%.